Welcome to Seth's Daily Podcast. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you guys for subscribing. We're blessed enough to have an interview with Elliot and Beagle from the Spooky Family Podcast. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, man. How's it going?
Doing good.
Pretty good, man. And how did you guys come up with your name, and how did you guys start the Spooky Family Podcast?
Well, I was working with Goose and Cronkite over on Here to Chew Bubblegum, doing the Elliot's articles over there. And during the pandemic, the family was just having a hard time getting together and getting to do stuff. So we thought, what is the way we could all get together? And they started helping me do a little bit of Elliot's articles. And we really like ghost stories. I know Here to Chew Bubblegum focuses a lot on aliens and conspiracies, and we like those too, but ghost stories are kind of our thing. So we just called ourselves the Spooky Family, and it all went from there. And they didn't really want to do a podcast at first, and then after a while, it bites you. Like you get into it and you wanted to keep doing it. So that's how it was born.
Yeah. And Beagle, how did you get your name?
I pretty much showed up one day and it was given to me. And being the way that I am, I just accepted it.
Took it ran, right?
Yeah, I just went with it. There you go.
Yeah, man. How are you guys actual ghost hunters, like investigators?
I would like to be, but I don't know how you would even really consider. I mean, I guess some of the people we've interviewed, they're true blue. But for us, I feel like we're more.
Say we're happy skeptics.
Yeah.
We like the stories, we like the lore, we like listening to other people tell stories, but whether or not we accept everything as being true, probably not.
Oh yeah, with everything, you're not going to find that any like sights of like Bigfoot or sights of Mothman or ghost sightings or anything is going to be 100% people telling the truth.
Mothman is 100% true. I promise.
He'll do this kind of thing. But yeah,
Mothman is my jam.
We like to keep moving.
I actually had the dude on that creates the costumes for the museum.
Yeah. Gertie and I and Beagle too. We really want to get out to the museum and check that place out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess in that regard, we really do like to. We like to get out to locations though. But for when we get out there to actually like maybe gather evidence or to even really know what we're doing other than running around out there, no, we have no idea.
But yeah,
we watch a lot of ghost hunters, if that counts.
A lot of ghost adventures and stuff, yeah, man. And if you guys want the guy that makes the costumes for the Mothman Museum, I can definitely get you in contact with him.
I like to dress up as him for Halloween.
You're pretty close right now, man.
Yeah. Just gotta get those red eyes, man, and the
Yeah, Elliot, if you want me to get you in contact with him, I will for sure.
All right, man. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. He's he actually has he has some witness papers of the Man in Black and stuff, actually, like originals and stuff. And the reason why I can say that is because he said in the interview.
There you go.
Yeah.
We actually had a podcast about the Men in Black, and I find them to be hilarious.
Absolutely, man.
I mean, they absolutely make no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. They're drinking Jello and just don't
steak.
Face.
Yeah.
I am refreshed. Thanks. Have you seen the Mothman?
This week, Seth, I don't know how much you know about the Mothman and that story, But this week on our podcast, we actually interview Tonya Darrenberger,
I've
who
heard of
is
her.
she is the daughter of Woody Darrenberger, and he's the first person to meet Indrid Cold.
Yeah.
And that kicked off the whole Mothman phenomena over in West Virginia. So we actually
Wow.
got to sit down and do about an hour interview with her about her new book. So
Wow.
pretty cool.
What's her name again?
Tonya Darrenberger.
And what is her book gonna be called?
Well, she's got a couple. It's Beyond Lanulose's book that's probably coming out in November, and she said she would try to be back on with us when that new book comes out. I'll shoot you an email and show you where to go to find her. She might come. She loves telling that story because it keeps her daddy alive. You know what I mean? It keeps his memory and his message.
That's a heck of a get for you guys too.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, like, I don't know. Do you have you watched the television show Hellier? Okay, it's about a place over in Pike County. It's all related to the Kentucky, the Kelly Green, the Hopkinsville Green Men. Anyway, Hellier is related to that, and she was interviewed on that television show too.
Wow. And Beagle, how was it interviewing her, man?
I actually was not present for that one.
Beagle was under the weather.
I was a possible COVID-19 situation, which ended up negative. Just want everybody to know. But it was, what are you going to do? I presented with all the symptoms. There's nothing I really could do.
Yeah. We think he might have actually had COVID-22. We're not sure.
Yeah. I've got the news. I'm patient zero for the new stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like there's a new variant coming out every day.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Beagle gets it all the time.
Yeah. I'm the one they tested on to make sure you're ready.
Yeah, man, you getting the person, one of the first people to meet him, man, was the daughter of them. I mean, dude, that is a heck of a get of an interview for sure.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah, she tells the story of how she met him when she was a little girl, and he still visits. It's a really good interview. So if you get a chance, spookyfamilypodcast.com. You can find us on Spotify or Apple Podcast and Google Podcast, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. What is the best ghost story that you guys have heard doing the show?
Oh, man. Beagle, you want to take that one, or you want me to?
Well, I feel like I'm biased on it.
Tell him anyway.
The best one I think came from the first or second episode, and it was the one that I read on the internet involving fairies.
Yeah, it was. We did
Old Grand.
Our first two shows were about missing 411, the missing phenomenon of people going missing in our national parks. Tell them a little bit about it, Beagle.
There's a man who's made a documentary, David Paulides. We butcher his name constantly. But he has the Missing 411 series on, I believe you can watch it on Amazon Prime. There's the Missing 411, The Hunted, and I think that's like a special where it's just, he focuses on hunters that have been taken in very peculiar ways, but they meet a criteria that he has found throughout these special some cases.
Yeah, they're always in a group.
Usually
Usually by water,
some sort of a storm or some type of weather occurrence. Bad weather occurs after they immediately go missing. They're usually they never ever find any trace of them. And if they do find a trace of them, it's usually many, many years later. So it's just kind of odd. And we while looking that up, there's I mean, there's so many different possibilities for this. We went into it. Is it a serial killer that's actually stalking these, like, in the woods, or these reserves and stuff? Is it aliens? Is it Bigfoot? Is it is it crypt? Like I said, like is it what could it be? When we went into fairies at one point, and I found a story online where a boy was with his family camping and said that they just went a very short little walk away from their camp, maybe down towards, I think it was a lake, and he heard his name being called. Now, this is later on. He recounts it to somebody. He tells what happened. The boy wasn't very old. He was, say, around like 6 or 7, but just enough that he can kind of articulate he could tell you what's going on. And said that he heard his name, so he looked up into the woods and he seen his granny. So of course he went to his granny. She was motioning for him and calling his name. So he goes to her, and then she takes him. He said a little bit up the trail above their campsite into this cave, and the way that it's told, the family freaks out. They can't find him. They start this search. Luckily, they find him within, like, it's no time. It's maybe 2 hours or something, and he's only like a couple of yards away from where they originally left him, or the last they seen him. And they said that some time passed, and he was in the kitchen talking to his granny, and he asked her, or he told her that he didn't like other granny. And she said, like, maybe what are you talking about? And he said, other grannies mean. And see, no one really cared about, like, what had happened after he had been took, or when he got back, because it was just he's back. We're super happy. We know this could have went 100 different ways. But she got to talking to him, and he described that something that looked like her took him to a cave, asked him a bunch of random questions,
weird questions,
weird questions that like you wouldn't ask a kid, like where do you all live? Like these really, and they were very
especially
forceful.
If you're supposed to be that kid's grandma.
Yeah. Like, like what's your like full name? Stuff like that. And when he couldn't answer it, she became more and more frustrated with him, and said that she eventually kicked him out. Basically said, you're gonna have to leave, and kicked him out of the cave. And that's how he was found. He said he literally got kicked out of the cave by her, and so they found him. And
the coolest part of that story, though, Beagle, if you don't mind me taking over for just a second, is when they found out where the cave was, the grandmother had actually had an experience at that cave a year prior. So, whatever was there knew what the grandma looked like, knew what the grandma sounded like, and, maybe it took.
Like Elliot was saying, the grandma had an experience there. I'll just keep it brief, kind of, with that. She went with a friend. They said they felt uneasy. It's like something was watching them the whole time. They went to bed, and then when they woke up the next day, they both were outside of their tents asleep. And they both had a little puncture wound somewhere near their neck, the back of their necks. And they both couldn't explain it, just chalked it up to some weirdness, and then went home. And a year later, that happens. So that was probably the best one I heard. Now, we did hear a local one. I'd say that's probably one of yours, Bobby.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a couple of ones that I love. My favorite one, completely, like Beagle said, is Bobby Mackey's Music World. Have you ever heard of Bobby Mackey's?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it may be that might be my number one bucket list. I want to go there and just spend the night and see
Not
what
me.
I can find.
Not me.
Yeah, see, that's I
As
want
a-
to think that I'm brave and that I'll go there and spend
Yeah.
all night. But then, when I get there, it might be a whole different story.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, as a former ghost hunter that has spent nights in haunted theaters and stuff like that, I'm good.
Okay. See,
Not something he wants to do every day, right?
No,
okay.
I don't miss doing it either.
I go back and forth on it. I'm with Elliot on that, and I'm like, I really want to go because it really is a very supposed to be a super active place, and but then I'm like, I really do not want to. I'll never hear the end of it if I bring something home.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to bring something back.
No, that's why I don't ghost hunt anymore, man. Because when I was ghost hunting stuff, man, you hear some creepy stuff and seen
Yeah.
some creepy stuff.
I guarantee it. Like that's the thing that gets me. Like I have respect for people who do it. I just couldn't do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love listening to the stories. So
Yeah, and I know you guys are possibly gonna have one of my one of my guests that's been on a bunch of times, a regular guest on my podcast, Earl Mullins. I know you guys are in talks with him about doing a podcast. He's the the biggest Bigfoot researcher here in Eastern Kentucky, the only one I know actually.
yeah, I've talked to him a little bit, but I need to talk to him in more depth.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that interests us completely. I mean, if you look at Beagle, you can already tell he's part Bigfoot. So I mean, it's just like a family reunion.
They think I'm a baby sass.
Oh, do you guys actually believe Bigfoot is half human, or?
I think if I'm the same as Elliot here with it, I think we've landed that it's a possible cryptid from another dimension.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. And I know that sounds far out there, but it explains so much about why you can't find them, why you can't find dead bodies, like why they disappear so easy. Um, I don't know. Have you ever heard of Skinwalker Ranch?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how there are portals on Skinwalker Ranch that lets things through, or you can go through supposedly. I really think that might be the case with any type of Bigfoot, if there really are Bigfoot. Is it big feet, big feet, Bigfoots? I don't know, whatever they are. But
They call them
that's my theory.
Bigfoot and Sasquatches.
Yeah.
I think it's a gaggle.
A gaggle of big feet. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I've had a Bigfoot guy on that said that he thinks that they do go into portals and stuff, and he said that he's seen Bigfoot almost every time he goes out.
It's possibly Beagle that he's seeing, especially if it's in Eastern Kentucky. I mean,
No, it's in Indiana.
Okay. Where is he going? And well, I'm gonna leave the questions. I talk, man.
Questions about that too. Like, will he invite us along for a trip? If he's seen Bigfoot every time, we need to go with him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can get you in contact with him for sure.
Sounds good, man.
I would love to actually go on a Bigfoot hunt. That would be one of my dreams.
Yeah. He don't actually do hunts. He just goes out there with no cameras or anything. He don't want to. He believes they're half human. He said they're half human. I mean, I don't know what I believe they're North American ape. That's just my not a North. Well, yeah, here they're North American apes. I think in their region they're just called apes like that. Like how you have like different gorillas and monkeys and all that stuff.
Mhm.
That's just what I think. Like,
Okay. So an unidentified species of gorilla
or ape. Yeah, exactly, man. I think it's
It's very
way bigger
possible.
than gorillas, though. Way bigger.
I mean, as dense as our forests are in North America, there could be anything in there.
Yeah. After our 411 episodes, I'm terrified. We're surrounded by the woods, and now I'm more scared than ever.
Oh yeah. Do you guys
Yeah, so-
believe in mermaids?
Let's see. Now the mermaids.
Just the little ones with red hair.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They're under the sea.
Under the sea, yeah. I actually had a dude. I've never have found a mermaid researcher yet.
Is there such a thing? They may be more. A mermaid researcher may be more rare than the mermaids themselves.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, there is. Do you guys believe in the dog man and stuff like that? I'm supposed to have the.
No. Listen, everybody talks about the dog man and the goat man and this man and that man. Nah, I believe in the tax man. Takes my money all the time. But
yeah, I got the biggest dog man researcher in the whole entire world. He has been on Discovery, History. I got him coming on in September.
That's awesome. And please ask him how he goes about getting that job. Like, what are the prerequisites for that job? You know what I mean? Like what college classes do you take? That's what I want to know.
Oh, he's also a Bigfoot researcher too.
Oh,
Okay.
well, okay. That's how I understand now.
Well,
anything hairy, send him Beagle's way.
I'm just going to go ahead and declare it right now that I am the only mermaid researcher. So now everyone has to turn to me for expert advice.
You're gonna
You all
go.
Nobody knows anybody. Well, now you all know the only one.
Yeah, now we
Me.
I am any goat man named George. Yeah, if you're ever looking for that, that's me.
He went completely out.
Yeah, you went completely
I
suspended.
told you my internet is horrible over here right now. We're having some storms.
Yeah. But Beagle, so you're now gonna be hunting the oceans for mermaids.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if it's a lot of people misidentifying seals, dugongs.
Or actual human beings.
Yeah, dressing up.
Yeah, like searching for stuff. Like I know where some people go searching for like gold, deep sea diving, and all that stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that are doing that they mistake for mermaids.
Yeah, there has to be somebody out there that's looked over and that has to be and it's just somebody with a metal detector trying to catch all the people's vacations, like phones and stuff they drop over the edge of the boat.
Yeah, ski diving and stuff like that.
So
yeah, man, there's a lot of people out there that believe in a lot of this stuff, and I believe in UFOs and Bigfoot, and after that, I don't know.
It's really hard to draw a line sometimes. If ghosts are real, what's to say Bigfoot's not? What's to say a chupacabra's not? You never know.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you this: mermaids are not real.
I mean, Beagle may disagree.
as the only researcher of mermaids, I highly agree.
Who knows what's in Carfork Lake? I mean,
really, who does know what's in there?
They call that the mud maid. The mud maid.
Oh,
mud maid.
That's a good one.
No, they said that in New Orleans that they had a mud maid in the swamps.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah, that's like okay. So we got that. You got the Grass Man.
See, this is why we need the paranormal trucker going to all these different states to find this information out for us.
Yes, absolutely. And shout out to the paranormal trucker, and he's one of the friends of the podcast, and we're actually going to be on this podcast this Sunday. It's going to be it's going to be a heck of an interview, and definitely can't wait to talk to him.
We've got Goose taking on the aliens, paranormal trucker going different directions, us making fun of ghosts. Like it's all good.
And me doing the Bigfoot stuff. Me having
there you go.
I'm having every Bigfoot guy on in the whole entire United States.
And listen, tell them if they need any help. If you need help researching mermaids, you know a guy. It's Beagle.
That's
He'll
me.
help you.
I got the mermaid hookup. And Mudmaid.
Mudmaid, yep. Carsford Lake.
Harford.
The bad thing is I live right by Carsford Lake.
Spent many a day at Carfork Lake, sir. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mudmaid.
Yeah. Actually,
I
where I
drive by.
live, I've seen a UFO before, man. I know the Goose has seen a UFO at the lake and stuff.
Now I've seen a UFO, but
I have
just
too.
and that's what people don't understand, though. I mean, just because you've seen a UFO doesn't mean you saw an alien. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep. You've seen an unidentified flying object. And Beagle, have you seen a UFO before?
I've actually never seen a UFO personally, but I feel like I might have had an abduction story. I might have been abducted.
I don't even know this one, and I'm afraid to ask.
I'll ask it. Tell me your abduction story.
Okay, so many years ago, I would say probably getting close to around 10 some years ago. I was on my way back from a friend's house after a night of light partying. So of course there's gonna be alcohol involved in this.
Balloons, cake, candy.
And
pin the tail on the donkey.
Yeah, just some normal stuff. I remember leaving, and I was having a conversation, and all of a sudden, it looked as if. Do you all know like the feeling like when lightning hits really close, like it just a very like almost like in the air type deal. All your hairs go up.
Like the breeze.
So, but the thing was, this feeling, but without any type of like, it didn't feel very, like negative. Like I never felt like any type of harm from it. It didn't hurt me. It was just a very crazy flash of light. I remember it going completely white, and then all of a sudden, I was just staring back at where I was doing, and I remember just continuing the conversation and going on. I only lived like 3-4 miles from my friend's house to home. And I remember after finishing the story, which only took like another 15 seconds, or what I was talking to her about, when we got pulled into the driveway, I remember us both looking at each other and saying, was that weird? Like, that seemed weird to you? And like, both agreed that was really weird, that flash of light was like incredibly intense. It was like lightning struck us, but no adverse effects happened. And we looked down at the clock, and like I said, I only lived 5 minutes away. It had been like 25 minutes, 30 minutes had passed on the clock. Now, could this be a little bit of mixture of intoxication?
Yeah.
Most likely. But that's my story.
That's exactly what it was.
That's your story, and you're sticking to it.
That's the only one I got. That's the only one I know.
Yeah. So, Elliot, tell us about your UFO sighting.
It wasn't really anything. I'm froze again. It wasn't really anything exciting. I just we were out driving at night. Me and my friends, we saw a light come up over the hill. Saw it for a split second, and then it went off to the right, like quicker than anything I've ever seen before, and then shot back to the left as soon as it, hit so far out. So never seen anything like that before, never seen anything like that since. So
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sightings like that. I've been told about a bunch of sightings here lately.
I mean, if you ask Goose or listen to Here to Chew Bubblegum, they've had a couple sightings in Pike County lately that were just like almost like clockwork. They could go out and look at a certain place in the sky every night and see something weird. So
Yeah,
who knows what's going on?
yeah. I've heard a lot of sightings here in Knott County, but I can't tell the stories, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, we get it over here too. We're in Floyd County, so we've got the Floyd County, Pike County, Knott County, connection right there. But you don't really hear a lot about. My internet connection is horrible. I apologize.
It's all good, man.
Like literally, this is probably Seth. I apologize. It's bad, but
You're fine, man.
If it wasn't raining, it would be fine. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that's the beauty of having internet in the mountains. But
yeah, it is.
You just don't hear a lot over here. You hear more ghost stories, Bigfoot type stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm interested to hear more about just sightings of actual, like Bigfoot and stuff in our area. I kind of want to know where to start.
Then watch my episodes with Earl Mullins, the biggest Bigfoot researcher here in Eastern Kentucky. The only one I know actually here in Eastern Kentucky. He's been asked to be on the show finding Bigfoot and stuff.
Hmm.
And,
yeah,
I just wish I would find Bigfoot,
Yeah, he's actually seen Bigfoot twice.
There you go.
So he's okay. Where was both of his encounters? Does he like tell?
Yeah, yeah, he tells it in the interviews. Slade, Kentucky, where
right. Okay.
Yeah, that's where Hal Rogers Parkway.
Yep. Okay.
And then
I could definitely see that. That's more of the Daniel Boone
yeah.
forest.
Yeah, it's close to where the gas stations and that subway is on the exit and all that. And
okay. If that's the case, then that's not, is it Red River Gorge?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I feel like I have heard of some sightings in Red River Gorge of hikers saying that they've seen something,
Then the other one he seen was actually in Perry County and past Vico in Happy, Kentucky. That's an IGA, and it was right around there. It was a snowy morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vico. I think I know where that is too. Yeah, okay.
You do know where it's at?
One of my favorite Bigfoot stories happened in Knott County.
What's that?
I'm trying, brother. I'm trying. One of my favorite Bigfoot stories happened over in Knott County.
Oh, yeah?
It's back in the 70s over at a little liberal arts college. I won't mention the names, but if you're from there, you know what I'm talking about. It was a big snow, and one of the people got out with a cut out foot and made tracks leading from the dorm up into the hills. And I reckon they called the paper and everything to come out and see what it was. So if somebody pranking, Bigfoot was there. Good times.
Yeah, and if you guys have any Bigfoot stories and stuff, definitely contact Earl Mullins on Facebook, and he'll definitely go out.
I can't wait. We need to have him on pretty quick.
Yeah, I've had him on about 4 or 5 times, and I actually got him scheduled for September the 1st to be on again, and then I'm gonna have him on with a guy from Finding Bigfoot, the show on Animal Planet. I got a guy that I'm in contact with Cliff from that show, and he's gonna be on probably October or something like that. I'm gonna have both of them on.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of Bigfoot researchers on, man. I've probably had three or four on so far. Really, I've had four on. I've had four Bigfoot researchers on, and I got another one scheduled for. Well, man, I got a Bigfoot researcher and a dogman researcher who's one of the biggest dogman researchers. Well, the biggest dogman researcher in the whole entire world.
And now the mermaid one too.
Yeah, the biggest mermaid researcher, and if you want to hear him, you can hear him every Wednesday on, or is it every Wednesday?
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday, my bad. Every Thursday on Spotify on the Spooky Family Podcast, the only mermaid researcher out there, Beagle.
Yep. I will never talk about it again, but please tune in.
Oh yeah, tell us about your guys' upcoming episode.
See, I feel like we need to have a whole episode of the Spooky Family Podcast where Beagle just talks about mermaids now.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
I think so.
I just do research, get real mad that none of it exists.
Oh god. And then what do you guys got upcoming here on the Spooky Family podcast, and who's the guest upcoming and stuff like that you guys want to promote?
I'll try to get it out before I get knocked off again. We got Chris Sloan from the Mountain Mysteries coming up. He does an excellent podcast. He's based out of Floyd County. His is more true crime type stuff. Excellent interview. It's coming up next week. We've got Chris Epling, the author of the Bigfoot Hillbilly Paranormal Guide. He's coming up pretty soon.
Oh, the Epling
guy? We got the Paranormal Trucker and his crew that are going to be on pretty soon because we want to make sure we get them out there.
Absolutely.
We've got a ghost hunt coming up that we're trying to schedule for sometime at the end of September. And then we start our Halloween countdown, where we just talk about things like the best Halloween movies, the best Halloween playlist for your Halloween party, that kind of stuff, all the way up through Halloween.
Yeah. Uh-huh. You guys got Chris Epling on, you said?
Yep.
I've heard of him.
Yep. Got him on. That interview is scheduled for next week. So he probably won't be on the show until 2 episodes from now, but he'll be on.
And then the Paranormal Trucker also does a great podcast, and that's going to be a good interview.
Absolutely he does. Listen, we've got all kinds of great podcasts in our area, and I love to promote them and get them out there. I think we need to promote each other and make sure we're out there. I try to always mention your podcast on ours. I try to always
definitely appreciate it.
Oh yeah, that's fine, man. There's a great podcast over in Pike County called Nerds in the Mountain. They do comic books and anime and all that stuff, but we've just got a lot of people out there that are doing some great things that I think people need to be more aware of.
Yeah, exactly, man. And speaking to that, I want to give a big shout out to the Spooky Family Podcast. I want to give a shout out to the Paranormal Trucker. I want to give a podcast to Down on the Holler, who's from Knott County as well. They have a good podcast. And then Here to Chew Bubblegum. Shout out to them. They are definitely friends of the podcast for sure.
Hey, shout out to Justin Perkins and Talk Junkie too.
Oh yeah, Justin Perkins is from my county as well. He's been on. Yeah. I forgot about that. Shout out to Justin.
Can't forget Justin, man.
Nah, I wouldn't forget about that from Talk Junkie. He's from the same. He's literally a couple miles from me, man.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Listen, he's one of the most intellectual people I've ever met.
Yeah, and that's gonna be he does a good job with Talk Junkie and stuff. And I definitely want to thank the Spooky Family for being on. And
hey, thank you for having us on, man. We appreciate it, and we can't wait to have you back on, Seth.
Absolutely. And I want to thank the Spooky Family for being on, and I want to thank you guys for subscribing. Definitely like their Facebook page, like their Spotify. Their Spotify will be in the description. And they also have a podcast on Anchor as well. They're on every platform there is, on all places you can find podcasts. So definitely subscribe to them. And you guys have a good night, and God bless.